Hi, Namaste. My name is Henry. Today I'm speaking to you from the bookstore of the Sri Ramana Ashram. I would like to encourage you to read about the life story and the teaching of Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. Great scholars of yoga and meditation like Ken Wilber, Robert Thurman, and others have declared that Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi is one of the greatest yogi, the greatest sage of the 20th century. And the way to find out is to read the books about his teaching and his life. One will learn that Bhagavan recommended vichara, self-inquiry, to experience the self or true identity, because Bhagavan is an example of someone who has experienced the state of samadhi, someone who has realized the self. He can be trusted to guide us to our true identity or true nature. Self-realization. Bhagavan compares self-realization and the state of the mind like a sky that is overcast by clouds. These clouds that impede an individual to see the sky is like the mind, bundle of thoughts. We have about 60,000 thoughts every day, and Bhagavan compare the process of meditation and vichara as a way to transcend the mind, to transcend the clouds, and experience the clear blue sky of enlightenment. Naturally, we cannot practice self-inquiry if we don't have faith that ultimately we can experience our true nature or self. And Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi is a role model of someone who have not only experienced self-realization, but someone that led a very pure, enlightened life for all his devotees to see what a true saint is. You will find in those books a multitude of stories about the life and teaching of Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. Yesterday I was reading one of those stories that kind of warmed my heart, because Bhagavan is known also to be a lover of animals. There's some great stories about his relationship to a cow named Lakshmi that used to come and visit him every day at the same time. And there's a beautiful story of Bhagavan. Sometime in the 1920s, he was roaming the hills, and suddenly he saw a young woman that was crying. And he asked the young girl, "Why are you crying?" She explained that she was a young woman taking care of many sheep, and one of the sheep had just fallen in a ravine. Bhagavan looked over the ravine and saw that the sheep was still alive and okay, but way down in the ravine. Bhagavan decided to go down the ravine himself, and remember that Bhagavan did not wear shoes. He went all the way down, picked up the sheet, put it on his shoulder, and brought the sheep back to the young lady, who was extremely grateful to Bhagavan to have saved the sheep. Over his lifetime, scholars, yogis, people from around the world came to ask his advice, how to meditate, how to discover their true identity, the self. And Bhagavan, as you will read in these books behind me, patiently, lovingly explained to each visitors how to experience their own true self. By reading these books, you will find an encouragement to discover your true identity, your true nature, your true self. Bhagavan also said that there was different types of devotees. Some were more ripe than others because of the spiritual sadhana, the spiritual work they had done in their past life. Some are more ready to practice meditation, to practice self-inquiry. And for the more advanced devotees, Bhagavan says that reading is not enough. At one point, you have to put the book down. You have to put the scriptures down, be the Bhagavad Gita or the Vedas or the teaching of Adi Sankaracharya, and you have to do the work. Reading is not enough. You have to practice, become aware of the thousands of thoughts that pass through your mind every day. You have to become a witness to those thoughts. You have to go to the origin of that high, the origins of those thoughts, the self. It is a gradual process where you become aware of your good thoughts, of your bad thoughts, some that are useful for your daily life, and some that are totally useless, and you have to let them go, disappear. It is my experience that once you start investigating your mind, witnessing your mind, at the beginning it might be 20 minutes. Later on, it might be 4 or 5 hours at a time. one will realize that it's becoming a constant process. I think one of the first benefits of being a witness to the mind is that you become extremely careful which action you will take in your life. The right action corresponding to the right thoughts, until one day you get to that point where you realize your magnificent self. The scripture describes the self as being Sat Chit Ananda. This realization brings total wisdom. It's a state of bliss. It's a state of eternal happiness. So making this video, I invite everyone, neophyte, people who are just learning about Bhagavan, those who have read more extensively about Bhagavan, and those who have read enormously about Bhagavan, whatever stage you are in the practice of your sadhana, there's tremendous spiritual benefit compared to the materialistic benefit of living a material-oriented lifestyle. Because practicing self-inquiry, meditation, brings you closer and closer to your true identity. And this means that you will be every day, in every way, feeling more and more happy and content. If you live in India, you can order some of the books from the Sri Ramana ashram at the website that you see below. If you live anywhere else around the world, there's many books about Bhagavan on Amazon.com. Bhagavan has said, the process of self-realizations require works, and that work is to discover that you are not the mind and that you are not the body, but you are the eternal self. Namaste. Thank you very much.